Hello everybody, it's Venus, and today we're going to talk to you about the workplace. These are going to be vocabulary and structures for things that you will see, hear, and say in the workplace. Of course, the TOEIC exam is an exam for people who are concentrated on business English, so we are specifically targeting this course of lessons for you, our lovely business students. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just take a look at the picture. What do you see here? It's somebody's workplace, right? So before we start to analyze the picture, let's go over the vocabulary words. I'm going to say the vocabulary word and I want you to repeat every time you hear me say the vocabulary word or the structures, okay? So listen very carefully, listen patiently and quietly, and repeat after me. So the first one we have is entrance, entrance, entrance. So I want to point out to you that the base of this word entrance is enter, okay? The next one is customer, customer, customer. Office, office, office. Employer, employer, employer. Boss, boss, boss. Receptionist, 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 receptionist. Safety regulations, safety regulations, safety regulations. All right, so we have learned the vocabulary for this picture. So what do you see when you look at this picture? Who is this man? He is the customer, right? This guy, he is the customer. And where is he standing? Where do you see him? He's at the door. He's at the entrance. He's entering the room. And what does he have here? He has a computer CPU, okay? Now, why do you think that he took it, that he's bringing this CPU into this room? Take a look here. What does it say? Irina's computer service. So obviously he wants to get his CPU fixed, right? Now, who is this woman right here? She's got a headset on. She's talking. So she's maybe talking to some customers or talking to other people in the business. Who knows? We don't know. But she is receiving this man. Okay, so the base word for receptionist is to receive, right? To receive somebody into the room. So here we have a different space, right? This is the woman's office, right? And who is she? We're not sure. Maybe she's the employer or the boss. Maybe she's another colleague. But what we're seeing here is that she is reading a book about something. It could be she's reading a book about safety regulations. It could be a lot of different things. It could be a work order. It could be a memo. So this man, this customer, is entering the room where he will speak to the receptionist so that he can get his CPU fixed. Here we have this woman who is probably the boss and also the employer. and she is reading something. Maybe it's the safety regulations right here, okay? And you have to be safe when you're fixing things, right? So the man, the customer, has come into the room. He's going to fix his computer, and he needs to talk to the boss about something. All right, so let's look here at the next one. So the vocabulary here, we have time clock. Repeat after me. Time clock. Time clock. Supervisor. 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 Employee. 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 Payroll clerk. Payroll clerk. Payroll clerk. Pay stub. Pay stub. Pay stub. Pay stub. All right. And then here we have wages. 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 Deductions. 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 Paycheck. 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 All right. So let's take a look here. Now, what do you see is happening in this picture? All right. So we have this woman. She is the payroll clerk. She's handing out these envelopes to the employees, right? How do we know they're employees? Well, they're all wearing these yellow uniform shirts, right? They're uniform to identify them as employees. So that's pretty typical with this kind of job in America. You will know that it's an employee because they're wearing a uniform for their company. And it has their company logo on it. And we see right here, this is a time clock, right? Now, what do you do with the time clock? When you come in, you have to take one of these things, put it in the time clock, and then it will print the time on the payroll stub, and then your boss will know what time you've come to work and what time you leave. Okay, so number 8, this guy right here. He says, fix this first. He's wearing a white shirt, a white work shirt, and a tie, a red tie, and he's speaking to one of the employees. So that means he is a supervisor, because usually a supervisor would wear maybe a shirt like this, and then the employees are wearing the uniform. So he is talking to this employee, asking him to make this CPU a priority, to fix it right now. You can see that they are fixing things right here. So they are technicians. These employees are technicians, computer technicians, fixing things like the CPU. All right, now, this is a payroll stub. So in America and some other places, but I really can only speak as an American, as I've never worked in England or Australia or Canada or anything like that. So I'm not sure what their payroll stubs look like. But in America, usually you'll be given a check like this, and then at the top, it will have your deductions, all of these things. So right here, we have the business and the address, the date for which you're being paid, the dates. And then right here, it shows you your weekly gross wage. And then here, it shows your deductions. So we have, this is for federal tax. This one is for state tax. This is for Social Security. And then this is for SDI. So after all of these deductions are taken out of your salary, he made $800, but he is left with $610.10. It's pretty common in America for them to withhold about 20 to 25% of your check to pay for taxes. This Social Security thing here, this is a thing that you'll be given like once you retire. So it's kind of a little bit of a small savings account. You could call it similar, but different. All right. And then of course we have the check. So you see this right here, you can just tear it off and then you can deposit this in your bank account, or you can go to the bank of the employer and cash the check. All right, so what is happening? It's payday. It looks like it's payday, right? So the payroll clerk is giving all the employees their wages, and the supervisor is speaking to one of the employees and asking him to make this CPU a priority. And these employees, this employee right here, she's fixing something. So one person's getting paid, but we also see that she has a bunch of envelopes. So that means everybody's getting paid. Okay, so here's some more vocabulary.